Yeah, we're good now. The sound check's already done, so we live. I almost ain't make it, yo. I was just laying in the bed. I'm just tired, man. You know what? I'm gonna start the episode with something that this is what I need from the future Mrs. Wilson. Even if you ain't the future Mrs. Wilson, even if you're just gonna be a girlfriend, companion, smash buddy, whatever, comfort buddy, whatever lifestyle choices I decide to make, and you fill this role, ma'am. This is what I need, right? This is not asking a lot, and a lot of men like this. I'm even down if you make a collaborative list and share it with me via iPhone or whatever you want to share it with. If you need things from me, please just let me know in advance. Don't tell me the day of. Don't tell me when I'm on my way home from work. Yo, just like make a list ahead of time and I can just check it and just knock those things off. There is nothing worse than when you've had a long day cutting your ass and all you want to do is go home, relax, and decompress, and someone gives you 58 things they need you to do that they could have told you 3 days ago. Or even 4 days ago when it was still the weekend. And also, when I get home from work, you know, we can greet each other and give each other smooches. Just leave me alone for about an hour and a half. You know, depending on the day, maybe 2 hours. I need to decompress and get my life together. You know what I'm saying? I'll do the same for you, but I really need that. I will say that in my current state because my mind races and I'm an introvert and I talk to people a lot and have to answer a lot of questions at work sometimes. So when I get home, I don't be having the capacity for it immediately. I need to give my brain like a break before it goes back into ramp up, answer questions, figure out, problem solve mode. All right, that is my soapbox talk for the day. Do you have any soapbox talk? You look like you agree with everything I just said,
It's all over my face. I'm like, yeah, but like,
yes, leave us alone.
I was like, give me my hour, my 2 hours. Let me decompress. I may need like a fun beverage, and I'm not saying it has to have alcohol in it, but I'm gonna need a treat of something. Like, and when I say beverage, like that could just be like a free drink made at home, like iced coffee or something, just something with pizzazz. But yeah, I just need that and just to lay down, not on my bed, but like on a couch under a blanket. And today the weather, it was so like gloomy today because it was foggy and it was rainy and it was cold, and I was like, I don't even want to work right now. Like I want to be in like on the couch under a blanket watching movies. Like when it's rainy like that, I do not want to work. I don't want to work at all.
I'm supposed to have bad weather tomorrow, so
yeah,
I really need to open this. Navy Federal sent me something. My dad was was military. So maybe I need to take advantage of that. Yeah, I feel you on that. Gloomy days are gonna be interesting, and then we'll see how that impacts the internet because I can't really do much of anything without the internet at work.
Oh yeah,
That's gonna suck. We'll see. But yeah,
I remember.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I remember at my old job when the Wi-Fi went out when I was at work, and they were like, "Yeah, you just gonna have to go home." I was like, "And do what?" I was like, "Twiddle my thumbs. Am I getting paid? Like, what's going on?" But yeah,
that part. Am I getting paid is the most important question. Nothing else matters. I don't even care about your work at this point because I'm going home. So, I definitely feel you on that. We shall see. We shall see. But we made it, y'all. We made it. Let me cue the music. Sorry, the energy is not up. I'm tired, man. Like, a lot has been happening that I cannot talk about. But all good things. Very good things happening with Pass the Peaz app, the only recipe app where you can upload your recipes, add videos to each step, and create collaborative cookbooks. If you have not downloaded Pass the Peaz app, do it now. I actually literally paused the podcast. I didn't mean to do that. I'm pausing the music. Go download it real quick. Go ahead. I'll count. It only takes 5 seconds. I'm kidding. But no, for real. Go do it. Links in the description. But yeah, a lot of things happening with Pass the Peace app. A lot of things happening in my personal life. We'll get to it. Major things to come. And I'm gonna try to get Ericca to open up a little bit on this episode like she did on the last episode.
Oh.
Maybe not.
I warned y'all. Don't be used to it.
Add that to my wish list. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm looking at tactical gear. I'm gonna get more into sport shooting and training. Just for life purposes, not that I'm out here trying to plan or do anything. Just life purposes and for personal enjoyment. Sorry, this really got my attention. Let me open that. Don't you hate when you open like an email advertisement? I cannot let that go because I used to work in the call center. He was like, "I saw your advertisement." I said, "Excuse me?" That stuck with me ever since, yo. Advertisement. But don't you hate when you open it and it's like in its own like web browser and you have to tap it to open it in Safari because the default email browser don't remember none of your passwords, so I can't look at this useless garbage the way I need to and add things to my wish list. It's interesting. I wish I could just skip that step, but yeah. What's going on, everybody? We are back with another episode of From My Experience podcast. I'm your host, Rob. I got the co-hostess with the mostest with me, Ericca. How you doing? How you be?
I'm sorry, as I'm yawning too. I was really hoping that you weren't going to turn and look at me.
Yo, I was not looking. My eyes were closed because I'm still low-key sleepy. And you were doing the full eyes closed, mouth wide open. Oh, God. Oh, my poor co-host. She's so tired.
I'll be damned. I'll be damned.
I can't wait to jump in the bed after this. Oh my gosh. But no, I'm fine. It's the weather. The weather makes me feel like this. I promise. I've been fighting it all day.
I've been fighting it too. No, we tired, man. We ain't gonna keep y'all long either. I'll go ahead and hit the headline music. Which button is it? Is it this one? No, there it is. All right, you good to go.
So, only one headline because we are trying so hard to remain positive and talk about things that are just not messy and drama-filled right now. Y'all know what we're talking about without us even telling you what we're talking about. Anyways, our headline for today is how Tia and Tamara, basically, they're not as close as they used to be. And this was highlighted in an upcoming... Tia and Tamara Mowry, they should. The twins. Sister. But you should know the twins. Anyways, it was highlighted in Tia's upcoming reality TV show where it's supposed to follow her life after divorce and being a single mom and what's that like on the day-to-day. And she did mention and highlight that she wishes that there's times that she could pick up the phone and call her sister, but they're just not as close as they used to be. And it sparked a lot of conversation on social media because if you're a twin, like how are you not talking to your other twin, your other half, essentially? So it sucks.
All right, I'm gonna give my comments on that, but before that, we haven't looked up headlines, but I don't remember who he said on the last episode, but I'm pretty sure somebody passed away or has passed away since then.
Yes.
Did we say it on?
We did not.
You looking it up? Okay.
I'm opening my phone.
I just say that because it just seems like this year.
James Earl Jones.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I forgot about that because what's his name passed? Which Jackson?
Who?
Tito?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So it's been 2. Oh my goodness.
There's probably somebody else we're missing. There's somebody else we're missing too. It's weird, man. Our legends are starting to pass, man. We you know, James Earl Jones, man, legendary voice, man. I remember him linked to my childhood with The Sandlot. If you've ever seen that movie about a group of kids who played baseball, and there is a yard that if you knock the ball into, that there's a dog in that yard known as the Beast, and the kids were so scared, and turns out that James Earl Jones played the blind man who lived in the house who owned that dog, and the kids, I ain't gonna spoil it. If you're not seeing the original Sandlot, go check it out. That's where I remember him from.
Lion King?
Yeah, childhood wise. Yeah, Lion King. Just so many things, man. I don't know much about Tito Jackson. I'm not that I have anything against the Jacksons, but still a tragic loss. I'm pretty sure he's made great contributions to the music game. Also, I heard something on another podcast, like if it wasn't for him, there would have been no Jackson 5 because of something he did. But
yes.
Oh,
he stole a guitar, and that's basically how the Jacksons got started. He got beaten for it, punished, but he wanted to learn how to play the guitar.
I'll be damned. I'll be damned.
Is what I remember.
Well, I'll just add allegedly to that. But rest in peace to those gentlemen, man. And rest in peace to anyone else who may have passed. I don't remember if we said Fat Man Scoop. I don't know if we recorded the episode that week or not. But rest in peace to Fat Man Scoop. Fat Man Scoop, as sad and sudden as that was, he literally got to die doing what he loved. He was literally at a show on stage. I can't remember his last words, but I think it was something like, you know, make some noise or something like that. It was something to the crowd, which is pretty dope. All right, those are your headlines. Unless you got more? No.
Oh no.
All right. I'm gonna get fussed at, but I don't care.
Uh-oh.
What is Tia's show? Tia is the one with the show?
It's Tia's show.
It's a show about her life as a single mother after the divorce.
Basically that, and just the day-to-day. They used to have their own reality TV show, both of them together back in, like, I want to say it was like 2010-ish. I do remember watching like episodes here and there, but she's getting another reality TV show.
You know the name of the show?
I can look it up real quick for you. Let me find it.
I'm really trying not to.
Uh-oh. They gonna get you.
No, they not, yo. You.
Oh, it's called, it's a WE TV show called My Next Act, which chronicles Mauri's journey as a newly single mother following her divorce. Yeah.
Newly single. How long they been divorced?
That was like, I want to say like last year or even before that.
And who wanted the divorce?
Interesting. I actually can't remember, but I think they said it was a mutual. I remember they did have a public statement come out that it was mutual and she was choosing herself for the first time.
Now I want you to listen to what you just said. That don't sound mutual, does it? We made a mutual decision, but I'm choosing myself. That part right there. She probably, I mean, statistically, women ask for the divorce more. Irregardless of the reason, it's typically women who ask. That's just a statistical fact. Well, at least I know I can say this based on her reputation. It'll be wholesome and not trashy. So maybe some people can learn something, but that's wild that, yeah. And people, you know, it's been very interesting because you have no details, right? But why can't I remember her husband's name? And I just watched his movie.
Corey
Corey
Hardick.
There you go, Corey Hardick. Seems like a cool dude. Obviously, we don't know him. We don't know why they actually divorced. But there's been a lot of banter on the internet and jokes about how now people like, yeah, I bet you regret it now, because it's like there's no horror story. It kind of in that whole choose myself thing. You just said it. You chose yourself. Mm-hmm. So this is what you get. There's millions of other women just like you who did the same thing. And you're going to now chronicle this on a TV show. I don't know other than the entertainment aspect. I don't know what this is going to showcase or highlight, but okay, I can't be that guy because this is promoting positivity. I just don't get it. I'll just say that. She does what she needs to do. But I mean, if you have a mutual divorce with someone and now you have hardships in life because you're now alone, I mean, you ain't think about what life alone was going to be like. This man is gone. Your finances are going to change. Your family dynamic is going to change. You didn't think about this before you finalize a divorce. Like, that's common sense. Everything changes. And now, I saw the clip where she said she's not as close with her sister. We have no idea what that's about. I saw something in the comments. Don't know if it's true at all. But they said, like, her sister and husband are, like, super Republicans and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So I don't know if that's true or not. I don't follow them. I ain't followed them since sister. But that's going to be interesting. And she talked about being lonely in that clip. And I mean, there were other things too. Because there are other clips of her talking about how hard it is to, like, she was on some show talking about dating. And I was like, well, damn, you should have did your research. You should have scrolled some Instagram, okay? Because then you would have known. You know what I'm saying? Like, dating out here is rough. Let the women tell it. It's very rough on them. Let the men tell it. It is very rough on us as well. So, I mean, you're divorced. How old is she? Late 40s, maybe? I don't think that they're too much older than us. Maybe early 50s. Maybe. I don't want to put that on there because I don't know.
I don't think she's 50s. I think she's mid to late 40s.
Yeah, so my thing is this. What are you looking for and what do you expect out here? At that age, you divorce to someone who's now extremely high profile and you have children. Dating looks very different for you all around. If that's what you're looking for, companionship. And I mean, you think you're going to find someone else that is willing to marry you like he did? Possibly, of course. But it's different, man. The world is different. I don't know how long they were married, but it's a different world. So, stuff like that. That's why it's just like, it just irritates me a little bit because it's like, and I've been through this with relationships when they end and they like come back later and like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't think. And it's like, yeah, you didn't think. Like, you have to remember when you make a decision like that, your life is going to change. It has to change. Like, things are going to be different. You're going to have to fend for yourself. Like, it's on you. When you had a kid, you can't just yell and say, honey, come downstairs real quick. No, you got them. You got to cook dinner. You got to provide for them until he gets them or whatever, or until the check comes or however. So it's just like, stuff like that just makes my mind, it's like, what did you think was going to happen? Like, you thought, you knew it wasn't going to be the same. Y'all are separating. You're removing half of the unit from the situation. So now y'all got to operate, co-parenting, of course, but as far as your lives, you got to float on your own. And you chose yourself. How you feel about that choice? Why are you crying about it? I mean, I'm wrong. I'm not trying to be mean or wrong.
No.
I ain't been married and I ain't been divorced, so.
It's also just probably difficult for her with dating because, like, she's a household name. So she's trying to find someone with that caliber too. And I'm like, in celebrity world, it just seems that everyone just dates within like the same people in the same groups in the same groups. Yeah. So I don't know if like I would have hopes for her. Of course, always have hopes for her and always root the best for her. But I know that that's probably the big hindrance for her with dating is that, and also her age. And then, because you think of like how many like male actors are around that age, or like are they younger, older, but are they going to be on the same level as her, things like that. And then does she date someone who's like unknown, and all the different stuff that comes with that too. I've seen clips of them post divorce, and they're very much like amicable
Yeah.
and everything with each other. So that's good. That's good to see. And then so it's not really any bad blood or anything at the end of the day, but um I do know that the reality TV show, I don't know how much of it is gonna chronicle her being like single and stuff, because people enjoyed their TV show from 2010s, and people have said that Tia is like the more like entertaining sister than anything, and she's more of like the jokester and stuff like that too. So I'm hoping that it's not just gonna focus on like the woes of dating and things like that. Just probably a better or a positive outlook on like being single and raising their kids, because their kids are not like babies. Their kids are like around like middle school age or so.
Ooh.
So yeah, so it's
That's
like
rough, bro. Middle school? You
yeah,
got to
so it's
have some
like
conversations. There's a whole lot of
yeah,
conversations, and a whole lot of parenting needs to happen then, because that's when they start
that's
having
puberty.
sex and doing all. Yeah.
So I'm really curious to see how they do go about that and their like co-parenting relationship. I don't know if he's even gonna be like on the show or anything like that, if he even wanted to be, but I feel like that would probably maybe help some people who are going through the same situation as her, trying to navigate to do like healthy co-parenting and stuff like that too. I don't know. I have high hopes.
Y'all can't see my face. Yeah, hopefully the co-parenting is definitely healthy. Definitely don't want any drama, because that's nothing to do with the kids. And
Yeah.
again, we don't know why they divorced.
They kept that pretty private, which is fair.
Yeah, I think that's dope. I like it and I don't like it. I like it because, and I say this all the time on the show, yes, celebrities are high profile people who share parts of their lives with us, and they're basically sacrificing their parts of their privacy for our entertainment. Mm-hmm. On the flip side, I do also remember and keep in mind that they are entertainers. So I take what is quote unquote real with a grain of salt, because there are people who will sign a contract and play out a whole thing for 4 or 5 years and get TV shows, interviews, albums, and all of it out. And they get paid at the end of it and go their separate ways. Stuff like that has happened. It is happening, and it has been exposed. I'm not saying that they're doing that, so I take it with a grain of salt. I just look at it as the human side. I always appeal to the human aspect of things. They're not devoid of feelings. They have thoughts, they have feelings, and they have families. So I'm praying that all that stuff works out. Prayerfully, her show is wholesome, and people, like you said, do learn something from it. Because, I know it's not easy, but I'll just say this in transitioning off of her. Anybody in a relationship, man, like, this is what I don't understand, I guess. We as humans, right, in certain aspects, and sometimes with these major decisions, we've seen so many examples of people doing things and telling you how it's going to be and what you need to prepare for, and we still don't do it. Like, marriage is hard. I ain't never been married, but marriage is hard. I have married friends. Trust me, marriage is hard. Some of the oldest married couples will tell you marriage is hard. The Obamas, America's lovely couple, no scandal, no drama, no nastiness, no mess. As smooth and cool as Obama was and presidential, and never seen him out of his character. I couldn't even imagine him cussing at his wife. She even said, you know what I'm saying, we didn't always like each other. You know what I'm saying? So, like, nobody is perfect. You have to work at it. And it, like, I've heard couples say, yo, y'all might not like each other for 3 or 4 or 5 years. And then year 6, y'all fall back in love with one another. And it makes sense, because y'all meet at a certain place in life, and and y'all are still growing as individuals. So obviously, as you're growing as individuals, even just think about your relationships with your friends. There are friends who I would never hang out with ever again. There are some friends that I wasn't close with when I was younger because they were more mature. Even like friends in college, they were more mature. And then as I got older, now that I'm in my 30s, we kind of clicked up, and I hang out and talk with them more than the fun hangout people that I used to hang out with, because I evolved, I shifted. And I don't hate any of them, but it's just like, oh, this is who I am now. You align with who I used to be. Those parts are still there. Not that they're unhealthy, but they're not as prominent. So here's who I am now. And you got to have a partner that can love you through that and understand, okay, they're letting this part of themselves go, or they're focusing on this, or they're concentrating on this, or they need to find this part of themselves, which means I need to be supportive, or I got to figure out how I can support them. And maybe all my needs aren't going to be met the way I would like for them to be met right now because they're exploring this thing. What if my wife wants to all of a sudden explore photography because she never had the opportunity, and now she figured it out, and she gets an opportunity to go across the world with National Geographic or something, but she's going to be gone 4 months out of the year. But I'm clingy. I like to cuddle. I like you to be here. That's going to be tough. You know what I'm saying? How do you work that out? Why are you laughing? That ain't who I actually am. Be quiet. I do like to cuddle ladies. But like stuff like that happens. Like I got a podcast. That's something new. So like, yeah, I'm going to talk about any woman I'm going to be with. I'm going to talk about aspects of our relationship on here at times and give examples sometimes. Are you going to be comfortable with that? I'm working with Pass the Peaz App. Prayerfully, when that thing kicks off, hey, I'm leaving my 9 to 5 to go work with Pass the Peaz, permanently. How are you going to feel about that career transition? Like so many things happen and change. And there's a lot of things I'm into personally that I don't do a lot right now because I can't afford it, because I'm prioritizing. But once things pick up a little bit more, I'm going to engage in certain activities more often. So now my schedule changes and my lifestyle changes a bit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you take the time to get to know someone and learn them, I think there are some core traits that are there. Like one thing that people typically tell me is I'm very nice, I'm very kind, and I'm very giving. That tends to be stable. You know what I'm saying? I don't always have the most steady schedule. I don't always have a 100% proof plan. I am a good planner, and I am ambitious. But, there are variables, but get to know who that person is to their core. What are some of those things you like, you know what, that's always going to be there. I can see that things are going to be there. I'm always going to have a sense of humor as well. I don't be trying to be funny. It just comes out. You know what I'm saying? I can't stand people who try to force the funny. Like, right. And that's one thing I love about you, Ericca. You don't ever try to force the funny. I think it's much funnier when you don't force the funny. But just things like that, But I say all that to say, just whatever major decision you're about to make, just take the time to think about what it's going to look like long-term moving forward. Because I'm going to be honest with you, and this is going to sound nasty. Hey, woo, hold on.
I'll be damned. I'll be damned.
This is going to sound nasty. A lot of us, there's two sides to a breakup. There's two ways. If y'all ain't in alignment, typically one person wants to leave more than the other.
Yeah.
And that initial leaving, that shit feels good. I'm not gonna lie. In some scenarios, when it's over and you are free, I ain't gotta worry about your thoughts, feelings. I get to eat all my snacks. I get to do what I want. I ain't gotta hear your mouth. I ain't gotta text you 4 or 5 times a day to worry about your feelings. Or I ain't gotta cook for you, bruh. Or I ain't gotta rub your back. I ain't gotta pick your blackheads. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gotta deal with your corn chip feet when you take your shoes off. Whatever it is, that initial freedom is like a burden lifted. I get to keep all my money to myself. Like it is. It's a responsibility and burden lifted, and it feels good. But reality sets in, and it's like, oh, I miss my person. Like, yeah, they had these things about them, and I have my freedom, but dang, I would really like to cuddle with them right now. Or I got some really good news and I pick up the phone, I'm about to call them, but I'm like, oh, they're not that person anymore. They're not that role of my life. You know what I'm saying? Or dang, they were going through this or in the middle of this. I wonder how that's going for them now. Because you still care. So that's something else to think about. Like, you got to think, how are you going to feel 5 months after this, a year after, especially if you're talking to marriage? How are you going to feel after the decision is made? Because a heartbroken person, they typically be hurt from the beginning. And then after a while, they realize, okay, there's more on the other side. You know, I miss this person. That's my person. I can't do all these things. And now, oh, wait, well, I don't have to do all these things. I can go find new things. So I just said a lot. I didn't mean to go on that rant. I'm sorry.
No, it was well needed, though. And it kind of touches on things that I was going to bring up for the topic. So, yeah.
Yeah. You be happy after breakups.
Oh, well, that last breakup, oh my gosh, that was where I was like, good riddance, please. Like, I'm so glad. I was like, I feel like I gotta watch my back 24/7 because you just watch me in the corner or something, or
What?
like he's eavesdropping and listening to my conversations because he was so paranoid and controlling over like what I was doing, and it's like, I've never given you a reason to feel like that. And usually when people suddenly start acting like that, it's because they have a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they have a reason and you're perfectly fine and dandy. So they're like, oh, if I'm doing my dirt, that means she has to be doing her dirt. And it's like, no, brother, you the only one who's doing the dirt. So that past my previous relationship, yeah, it was good riddance. I was never so happy to be like dumped in my life. I was like, you know what? I was like, this is gonna hurt because it was kind of like I knew that the relationship was just going downhill, and I was like, you know, this is fine. I'm okay with this. Like I had came to terms with it well before he ended up breaking up with me. So it was like, good riddance. I'm good. We don't have to work on this. You were that person for me. I grieved the relationship while we were still dating. It's fine.
I'll be damned.
Not grieving while you still in it. Oof.
I was grieving the relationship while I was still in it. Those last like 4 months was just coming to the conclusion that I was like, this person really does not care like about me or anything. And it was just like a 180 with it. And I was just like, yeah, this is not gonna. People have been saying, it's like, you know, when someone says something so casually that you're seeing, and it lets you know right then and there that they're not the person that you're going to end up with at the end of the day. It could be something like so small, and that's what it was for me. And I was like, I was like, this right here, how you just reacted to me talking about like being happy about like getting like good grades and things like that, like something positive happening to me, that lets me know that you are not my person.
Oof.
That's when I was like just grieving the relationship then, but I was perfectly fine once he was like, yeah, I think we need to take a break. I was like, yep, we sure do. I was like, and it's not a break, it's a break up.
Here, world, where did it do? Here, world, where did it do? Here, world.
It was like just that moment where I was like, yeah, I was like, you are not my person, because if I have to sit here and root and be a cheerleader for you, and you can't even lift up a finger, like a pinky finger, to do a little clap for me, yeah. I was like, yeah. And then my other relationship before that, I was devastated, like heartbroken, because it was like my first ever like real relationship or anything like that. And it came out of the blue. And I just felt like it was like my fault. And I was like, why break up with me? And then we got back together for like a week and then broke up with me again. I was like, oh my gosh. So it was like double heartbreak.
Not a week later.
Like a week later, I was like, and then did it like the week of like our 1 year anniversary.
Ooh.
And I was like, yeah, I was devastated because I was like, oh my gosh. And then to do it in like the middle of the night too, like when you knew I was asleep, was just so cowardly. And I was just like so devastated over that one. And
I'll be damned.
You can even ask my parents. I was so devastated. Like it ruined the rest of my summer.
You woke up to a breakup text?
I woke up to a breakup
I'll be
text.
damned. I'll be damned.
I was like, you know, I wake up at 6 a.m. and it was mid shutdown.
He's
like,
a nasty dude, yo. You gotta That'd be next
Legit.
level sick to break up with someone when you know,
Yes.
yo, yeah, he ain't want no confrontation.
Yo, like,
None.
legit.
That's
It was like,
nasty.
you knew I woke up at like 6:30 in the morning. You gonna send me a breakup text at 5 in the morning? Like, brother, like,
Dang, yo.
and
Oh my god.
it came out of like left field too. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like I was devastated and like heartbroken. Like, you can even ask my parents. Like, it took me months to like get over that because it was just like, I just felt so blindsided by the whole thing. And it took me months to even like accept the fact that it's like you, like I want to text you, I want to talk to you like whenever anything's happening because you're like my favorite person at the end of the day. And not having that communication with them because it's like they don't want you. And it's like just accepting it and like just digesting that took forever for me. And then once I got to the point where I was like okay with it, it's almost like that person's spidey senses are tingling that you're getting ready to get over them.
And they come back.
Because they come back. And I was
Absolutely.
like, I said, so you broke up with me over text in July, but then around November, you wanted to ask how I was doing.
Absolutely, it's cuffing season. You know,
Yeah, I
the
was
air
like,
changes. That little smoky smell
oh my
gets in the air.
gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And so
He
it was
saw
just one
something
of
that
those things.
reminded him of you. Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, oh my gosh, like it's like the spidey senses are tingling. Like, let me have peace, okay? Let me have
Absolutely not.
peace.
Absolutely
No.
not. I be doing that too. Not with none of my exes though, but people I flirt with, I pop up with the hey big head. So have I done that with my
Yeah.
exes? Hold on. That one, no. That one definitely not. She blocked me, even though I was supposed to block her because she cheated. I still talk to one of my exes, but we're really good friends, so that's just always gonna be a thing until one of us gets in a relationship. But yeah, my last girlfriend, I actually I was like kind of tapping in with her just because that was like a more complicated life altering situation. But the last time I hit her up, she was like, I'm gonna hit you back, and that was maybe a month or more ago. And I'm like, okay, I think that's pretty intentional, and maybe I just need to let her be, which is fine. Can't be mad at that. Not mad at all. It was literally just she'd just been on my mind like randomly, so I was like, oh, well, let me check in with her. And that's kind of linked to something that happens with me. Weirdly enough, I dream about people at times, and typically my dreams tell me things that are like truly happening with them. I don't remember if that was happening with her or not, but that has happened to me before. And they were shocked that I knew what was going on in their life. It was crazy. Yeah.
All I know is if we end, do not come back. Don't come back.
Don't say that.
Because
Don't say
no,
that. If
I'm so
just say if
true.
y'all end badly.
No, it's not even if we end badly. Like
That's it.
I learned my lesson. I said if you say no now, you're saying no forever. Like there's no because at one point I used to be like that where it's like okay, maybe it's just not the right time. And that's when I did go back to the one guy who gave me that breakup text.
Oof.
And when I went back to him, he did me worse. And that's when I was just like some people don't deserve second chances. Not to say that that everybody doesn't deserve them, but I know for me and who I am, I just cannot give you that other opportunity after you basically instead of working things out with me or communicating things with me and choosing to stay together, you decided to choose yourself and think that there was something better, think that there is something, and not to like make me seem all like high and thou and everything like that. No, it's just because you were so stuck on the fact that the grass was greener on the other side. Stay there. Stay there. Don't come back and think like months later or years later, like, hey, let me just see how. No, you chose the path, and it's the consequences of your own actions because I realized that not everybody's gonna want you to come back around. And I think I learned my lesson with letting people come back into my life is they were a lesson for a reason, and because I didn't learn that lesson, I'm getting hit with it worse. So I view relationships as lessons, and lesson learned, don't bring that type of person back into my life. The higher forces don't do it. I learned the lesson. Keep on.
I'll be
Let's go to the
damned.
next. Like
I will say this, and then we can move on to trends we would like to see end. I only have a couple. Great conversation, and thank you for sharing that. And I've told this to my homegirls, and this is a nasty, 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 uncomfortable, very uncomfortable, unpleasant, scary, uncomfortable, uncomfortable, unpleasant, scary, and nasty, uncomfortable thing. It is. Here it is, right? This actually will help you, and I want you to really hold on to this because you're young and maybe you've been through this already. We as humans, and we've kind of had this conversation before where people say, I'm single by choice type deal. No, you don't have any viable options. Yeah, you could date, whoever that is that you got in your phone, but is that who you really want to be with? No. But just this, no. So what men and women do when it comes to what you're talking about, people circling the block, we don't close the door. And we don't close the door because we like to be able to say, I could if I wanted to. I have this option available if I want to.
yeah,
I can do
like
that
a
whenever I
backup.
want to. Exactly. But you have to ask yourself, and this is the nasty part I just described, why am I doing that? And do I really need this? Is your ego, or is it your ego? Are you scared that, oh shoot, like once I block this person and cut them off for real, like when you close that door, you block, you can't follow me, you can't call me, they're done. That is no longer a phantom option anymore. People are afraid of what that's going to feel like. They're going to feel like there's FOMO. Oh, well, what if they change? No. If you really about that life and you really don't want people to circle back and you really don't want them to move on at times, get rid of them for real. Get rid of them for real. Close the door, because I keep telling my homegirls, dudes, and if you don't close the door 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 years later, they still gonna hate big head you. If you married and somebody flirt at you or come at you wrong, and you don't tell your husband, but you keep the friendship open, or you still every now and again respond to them, they're going to continue to do it, because what that says to me, oh, she hasn't cut me off yet, so I still have a chance. The end. You could call him all the names in the world, talk about his mama, yada, 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 yada. But if you don't close that door, he's still going to be like, oh, that door crack, I can see the light coming out here. Let me go to this light. I'm telling you for shizzle, for rizzle. But when you block them and you cut them off, and the next time you see them is when you randomly bump into them in person, it hits different. It hits very different. So I will leave y'all with that tidbit.
Oof.
I gotta make you laugh about something off air too. But go ahead.
And that's exactly, I think, the advice that my dad told me when I first started dating, and when I went through like my first ever like relationship breakup and everything like that, because leaving that door open, it's like you decided to not have me as your first choice. You decided to choose between me and someone else. I don't do that. I'm not a backup option for you. If you do not choose me, then no harm, no foul, but I will quickly and swiftly remove myself from your life, because you don't get to have access to me the same way.
That part.
Like, you don't get to have like the conversations with me. You don't get to know the in and outs of my day, anything like that. Like, you don't get any of that, because at the end of the day, there is no us. There isn't anything. And also, while yes, I see why people stay friends with like exes and everything like that.
It's
Me
bad.
personally, I can't do it, because I'm like, I'm not gonna be friends with someone that I had feelings for, or who has known so much of like the intimate conversations that we've had, where we're talking about staying together, like talking about our future plans. That future is over, babes. Like, it's gone. It's in the dust. It doesn't exist.
You know
So
what's funny
keeping
about
someone,
that?
what?
The sad thing is, those are like some of those qualities, and those people are like the qualities you look for. I mean, a lot of those qualities are qualities that you have in like some of your closest friends, but they just don't fit that role anymore.
Yeah. And so it's like I can't surround myself with someone who I did have feelings for, and I'm also like trying to control it at the same time because anything that you do is gonna hurt me because I don't have you like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We're not in it together. So I tried to be friends with one of my exes before, and I hated it when like you would like watch a like Instagram story or like a Snapchat story, and there's like all these people around him and girls and everything. And you're like, bro, like why would you post this? But it's like they're not thinking about you because y'all not together. So it's like
True.
in order to protect yourself, you have to remove yourself from that situation.
It only works if you're over it.
Yeah.
You really got to be over it. Like when you see them with someone, or you can genuinely talk about your dating life with them, and you don't get jealous and you don't have those feelings. It's fine, because I'm like that.
Hmm.
You just got to really know and ask yourself, like, is this what I want? Like, again, thinking ahead. Yes, this might
Hmm.
feel good right now, but if I want marriage and a relationship, you really have to look at who I am and who they are, and is this really going to work? If the answer is no, then it is what it is. But it's always dangerous. It's probably best not to be, but it's always dangerous. Y'all have seen The Best Man. Y'all seen how that goes.
Oh my
It
gosh.
causes problems. So we all know this. So I digress. We're at 46 minutes. I'm sleepy. So one trend that I would love to see end. Shoot, it can end this year, end by the end of the year. I would like to see more constructive conversations about relationships. Everybody
Mm,
now is doing a clip. They're doing two types of clips. They're doing a clip what I think is scripted with the purpose. Uh, Let me see. They're doing clips. I think some of them are scripted and some of them aren't. Where they're purposely trying to embarrass men and women by having
yeah.
them say, like, by giving them a very logical take and having them respond with the most illogical, ignorant answer just to get comments. Um, Vice versa, men and women I think do that, and they're just inauthentic conversations. Like, I do think that some people deal with some of the things that they talk about, but probably on a very surface level. I don't think very many people in deep real relationships deal with some of these situations. And I mean, that's, to me, that's where it matters, because in dating it's whatever. We're dating. Like, I can walk away from your ass and block you tomorrow, so if you act stupid, red flag, I'm out of here. But I just really want people to stop playing with relationships, because you're talking about people's time, you're talking about people's lives, and again, they're hard, man. They're difficult, and there are a lot of people out here truly searching for solutions, and there's a lot of people out here misguiding and misleading people. And sorry, well, not sorry, Kevin Samuels. A lot of people didn't like him, but I'm grateful for the door that he opened, and he made me think about myself differently as a man. Like what value do you have, and what value are you looking for in a woman? That's not a question I really ask myself very often, even as I got older. But you do need to look at, and I think this is important. I hate when people get upset, but it's like, you do need to ask or have conversations about what someone's bringing to the table. Like, are you bringing the plates, cups, beverages? Are you bringing entrees, appetizer? Like, that matters. If you want to combine a life with someone, y'all are going to be utilizing each other's resources. The purpose is to build. Like, you should be, in my opinion, you should be better, bigger, and greater together. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I need to know what that consists of. If I make 80,000 a year by myself and you make 80,000 a year by yourself, we get together, we now at 160. What does that look like? But I need to make sure, hey, are we going to be at 160? Based on your life and lifestyle, are we going to be at 160? Are we going to be at 150? Are we going to be at 120? Are we going to be at 90? What's really happening? And I think too many people are afraid and listening to these people who aren't even married, aren't even in relationships at times, and they're scared to ask these uncomfortable questions because they're afraid they're gonna lose. But I'm like, if that's your person, they should understand that, you know, hopefully they can decipher, 'cause some of y'all nasty, that this is coming from a genuine place. Like me at 40, I ain't got time for the BS. What you got going on? Who are you? This is what I got going on. Because that's going to impact it. Y'all can love each other and like each other to the moon. But if one person ain't got their shit together, y'all going to have problems. And that gets old, bruh.
That reality sets in.
That gets old, man. There's a lot of people I like, but I can't, even friend-wise, there's a lot of friends you may like, but you know every time they come around, they ain't got no money. Or every time they come around, they just have something. It's like, dang, you ain't got that shit together yet. Like, it gets old, bro, and you don't want to be around it anymore. And the last thing you want is to combine a life with someone and figure all that out and ask the questions too late. And now you have to separate and you got to start over. You got to reset again. And that's not easy. So please, man, like, put some real stuff out there, like real questions out there, realistic situations instead of this clickbaity stuff. Let's get to the real, y'all.
You just foreshadowed my trend that I was talking about. And I like how you said to stop playing when it comes to dating, because yes. So mine is two wrapped into one. I wish we would stop the trend of not being honest about your intentions from the get-go.
Oof.
And because all you do is you just waste people's time and their energy when if you didn't want a relationship or if you just wanted to play the field for a bit, say that.
Yeah.
Don't have someone sitting there thinking that because your actions are not lining up with your words, your actions are saying you want a relationship and your words are basically saying you just want to take it slow. Say what you actually mean. Say that you want to play the field. Say that you want to be single. Say, oh no, I just want to be friends with benefits. Like, say that. Like, don't take advantage of people's time like that and let them sit there and spend all this time on you when they could have been going with someone who wanted the same things with them on the first day. They want someone that's on the same page with them. I feel like that's just a cruddy thing to do, especially in the dating world when different people want different things. That doesn't mean you seek out somebody who you know wants a relationship and you just want to play with them and their emotions and their feelings. And it's like, that's crappy. And the other thing is also on the flip side of it, when people do that and they act as if they owe you nothing. I wish that we would stop with the
I'll
whole
be damned.
going through the world and all of these different relationships, basically burning bridges with different people and things because you don't owe anyone anything. But on the flip side of when that's you on the other foot, you're going to be devastated. You'd understand how it feels. And it's just, I wish that we would have a little bit more empathy and compassion towards people that we decide that we're dealing with. Because at the end of the day, they're human, they have feelings, they have emotions. They have to sort through it. Yes, you may not want to hold their hand as they sort through it. Fair. But don't forget the part that you played in the situation. Don't absolve yourself from having a guilty conscience. No, you're guilty because you played a part. Like, you're not innocent.
See, that goes back to the cutoff point. They don't want to miss out. It's the FOMO. You know what I'm saying? I want this option. Maybe I know I don't want a relationship. I know I'm out here dating, you know what I'm saying, just to date and have fun. But what if? What if like, she's the one? But
like,
bro,
what if
you not
I settle down later and just keep her on a leash?
Yeah, and it's like, bro, you gotta be with a woman and for things to work, y'all. You gotta be intentional. Like, there's an exception to every rule. That's another trend I really want to die. Like, whenever you make a valid point, well, that's not true for everyone. Well, no, duh. You know, Jay-Z's a billionaire, so could a billionaire rapper arise from the ashes? Yeah, it's possible, but what's the likelihood? That's not the average. That's not the likelihood. Well, we got 3, We have Diddy, we have Hov, we have Dre. I think are in the billionaire club from the hip hop world as far as artists and music and all that. There may be somebody else I can't think of, but them three. Diddy not so much anymore. Um, but yeah, like that whole trying to be the one exception, the you just gotta win type deal is stupid. Another trend I would love to see die. I've said this before, and clearly it's not dead. Is people copying other people's skits
Oof.
and killing the just it's killing the originality. I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole because we already did it before, but I just saw another one today, and I don't know what this give me my money. I don't even know where that comes from or what that is.
Oh,
But
that's a
I
TikTok
don't even
trend.
tell me. I don't even want to know. And that's
But it's like I don't like the whole copying people's flows. Like you jacking their flow, but yeah, it's not working for you because you don't have the sauce, you don't have the charisma that they did. Because it's not yours. You
exactly.
just wearing the costume.
Yeah, it's not a challenge. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get the challenges. The challenges are like, hey, I want to involve you all. What is your version of this? But when someone makes a comedic skit and you literally steal their comedic skit, it's like, huh? But, you know, everything's a money grab these days. Yeah. I feel like there was something else. Oh, my gamer community. I, I would say I love y'all, but I don't. If you are a gamer, right? Can we please keep the discussion about games and what we like and what we don't like about the actual games and what our experiences are like in gaming? I am so tired of everyone saying, "Oh, Xbox versus PlayStation versus PC, and my console's better." Shut your ass up. I hate it because people act like if you buy a PlayStation or an Xbox that you can't go to the store and buy the opposite console or the competing console if you choose to. And they get so caught up in the business side of gaming. It's like, bro, you're not even a gamer anymore. You talk more about consumerism and this versus this,
Mm-hmm.
and they laid this person off. You talking about that more than you're talking about the actual games that you're playing and the actual gaming experiences. And it's annoying. And I laugh, and I always do this to piss people off. I always post every now and again, how many of you own stock in Sony? How many of you own stock in Nintendo? How many of you own stock in Microsoft? How many of you own stock in Nvidia? If you don't own stock in any of them, why are you driving these conversations about business and sales? It don't benefit you one way or the other.
Hello.
It don't. Clearly, if you care that much about the gaming aspect of it and you think your console is so much better, why you ain't talking about your experience on the console and the games that you playing versus what's happening business wise? And then back to the other point I made earlier. These companies got backdoor deals. They work together. They don't work together. At the end of the day, they're businesses. They're out to make money. People who make fun of Xbox and try to talk about Microsoft. Microsoft is a multi-billion dollar company. Maybe trillions, but billions. They'll be okay. They have more money than Sony. So when people have these business conversations, I don't even get into it. But I'm like, bro, you need to go look at some actual numbers and actual business models to see what's really happening with these companies. One clearly has a plan guided towards, hey, we're going to put our products in as many hands of the people as possible, that being Xbox. They have Game Pass. You can go on Amazon right now, Erica. Let's say you wanted to get an Xbox. You can go on Amazon. They will sell you an Xbox controller and a Fire Stick. You can get Game Pass subscription on there and play Xbox games from a Fire Stick. You don't even have to buy Xbox anymore. They're ahead of the curve. Game subscription. They're the Netflix of gaming now. And people don't get it. It's like it's two business models. They're out here to make money. They don't care about the box sitting in my living room or your living room. But I digress. I just wish the conversation would revolve around more games and what you're excited for and all that versus the whole this console versus that console is stupid. So I'm done. You got any more trends you want to see die?
I think my only other one, it's more social media focused, I think, but this era that we came out of with the pandemic where people don't know how to talk to people
Oof.
and feel so comfortable commenting on people's pictures or quoting stuff and being like so rude where it's like you would not say that to that person's face if they were right in front of you. I wish that we could end that trend of just being randomly mean to people that you don't even know. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, I just feel like that's just so unnecessary because also that's a digital footprint, babes. I say when jobs do the background checks or when you put down, because also some of y'all like to put your first and last name as your account name
Mm-hmm.
for social media. So that's what you want people to look up when they Google you, when they see you, is you being just rude for no reason to somebody or saying slurs, anything like that for just no reason. Like there's a digital footprint. You can't erase everything off of the internet. Like you just can't. So I don't understand the purpose of being so rude to people that you don't know when you would not keep the same energy face to face. Like and you see it every day, all day.
Oh, I definitely see it.
Mm-hmm.
My trend of commenting on stuff and it being popular still pisses people off. And I do, y'all can go look complete underscore vision. I ain't got a lot of followers. I don't even know if I have 1,000. Like my page is not popping like that. It's actually quite boring. But I'm an intellectual person, so like when I see something that interests me, I like to share my opinion like everyone else. With along with what you're saying, at least at a bare minimum, if you're gonna talk shit, don't use a fake profile or a private profile. That's I don't even respond to them. Like when people do that, you're immediately blocked. I immediately block you. Immediately. Like you're blocked because you're hiding. You're already hiding. So I already know that you're saying whatever you're saying because you're trying to get a reaction versus trying to have meaningful dialogue. And not to say that social media is a place for meaningful dialogue, but it could be. I mean, at my big age, like, why am I on here just throwing out negative comments? And then for those of you who do that, what does that say about you and your life and how you really feel about yourself?
Yeah,
Like,
look in the mirror.
yeah, like what has happened to you or what is triggering you so much? And then again, it's like it is an open space and an open forum for everyone to share their opinions. Why are you so pissed off about my opinion that has zero impact on your life? You don't know my experiences. You don't know what I know or what I don't know or what I've been through. And you can just scroll. I do it all the time. Like I saw something today and I just scrolled through the comments because I said, ooh, it's going to get nasty. I can't remember her
Exactly.
name. She's popular, but she did a maternity shoot with her mom, maternity-ish shoot, and alluded to something in the comments, something around something kind of like, I'm just highlighting the people that I actually have with me. So people like, oh, where's your man, blah, blah, blah. And I just went through the
Oh
comments
my
because,
gosh.
well,
It's like
I
feeling
was
like
curious too, because like, she kind of has like a prominent profile, but
Mhm.
that's also a trend I really don't like.
So
I get it.
nosy.
I get it, but I don't like it. I don't like all of this maternity without the man there. Now I get it. It's
Mm.
none of my business. But some of it is looks like you're blatantly hot. Like one, you ain't pregnant by yourself, right? But two, I do understand that some of these niggas ain't shit and they're not there. But I think it's important to highlight parents and parenting. I would love to see more parents and parenting. And I get it. I don't like photos. I don't like being all over social media either. But there is messaging behind it. And I think some people take advantage of that messaging, and some people are trying to stir the pot by doing these things just to say, "Ah, you don't know about my man." Like some people are doing that, and it's just like, I don't know. I'm 50-50. Like when I saw that thing too, and the way she posted and the way she wrote out this long paragraph, it was just kind of like, But I really keep to myself when it comes to that because one, I don't know their business. Two, people automatically assume the man is the problem. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't know. She might have just told this nigga, "Hey, you might not be the dad, bro. It might be you, or you." We've all seen Maury. We've all seen Maury. They all swear he the pappy, and then it don't be him. I done seen people on Maury that been on Maury 8, 9, 10 times. Literally, still ain't found the pappy. Okay,
Mhm.
but I say all that to say, and that's again another reason why I'm careful with what I consume, and I'm just like, and that's why sometimes it's best not to say nothing. Your opinion does not belong everywhere. Now I will talk cash money trash to you at my screen, but I don't mean I gotta type it. I can think what I want to think, as ignorant as it is, but I don't mean I got to say it or even share it with anybody else. Why? That's your life. That's your business.
Mm-hmm.
The end for me. You got anything else?
Nope, that's all I have.
Cue the exit music. Oh, Lord.
Whoop,
Message to
whoop,
the brothers. I've been pretty ignorant this episode. I think I've been pretty, not negative, but just sharing my opinion, right? Brothers, I'm going to say this, and this is going to offend women, but I'm sorry. Focus on your goals and your dreams and whatever it is you're working on. Because at times, relationships can derail shit. I'm going to say one more thing. This is something I didn't do very well. Whatever it is you're working on, working towards, when that woman comes along and you haven't gotten to those things yet, be clear in explaining to her where you are, where you headed, and say, hey, if you want to be a part of this, if you're taking this seriously, you got to show me before I start making alterations to these plans. I'm a, what's the thing called? I am a hopeless romantic. When I got a woman, I immediately put her on the pedestal. Used to. Put them on the pedestal and say, okay, I need to think about us. That was not always, probably never actually truly returned to me. But that was my mistake, not theirs. They were looking out for themselves, as you probably should when you're a boyfriend and girlfriend, especially in the early stages. That's why I say, and I don't mean that in a negative way, it just was what it was. I was just young, naive, wasn't thinking straight. But, and women too, that goes for you. Until someone really steps up and proves to you, hey, I'm considering you as much as you consider me. I'm worth being considered. I can help you along with these plans. I respect your plan. I'm not going to nag you or try to get you to change when I see you're working on this. I'm going to find ways to support you. Look for how they're helping you get there. You understand me? Look, I keep looking at my other camera. Look for ways. I'm so used to looking at it. Look for ways that they're helping you actually get there versus what about me? What about me? What about us? What about me? What about us? Don't you know that when I'm in a better position, we're in a better position? I'm doing this for me, but it just so happens that the benefits will spill over into this relationship. So stay focused, brothers. That's all we get.
Oh, word.
That's all we got for y'all, man. I ain't gonna drag it out. We love y'all. FME_podcast on all social media, except for, I forgot what our X is, but whatever. FMEpodcast.com. We're gonna update the blog soon. What else? Download Pass the Peaz app. Pass the Peaz app. Download it. Got a makeover, looking fresh, looking new, looking different. And I got some recipes on there. Holla at your boy. Until next time, take care of yourselves physically, mentally, and financially. We'll catch y'all. Peace. What are you doing?
Huh?
Nothing.
She's legit like right